everyone. Welcome to a new podcast. My name is Ian Said, but most people know me as Tacho. And today we have the pleasure to talk to Caleb Christian Edwards, better known as C.Kaleb. In the midst of 2019, he was just a Pac-Man Gunner Main from Michigan, currently residing in New York, with good PR in the NYU. But after returning from Argentina and receiving wins all over the region, and in the middle of the pandemic, he had enough confidence to take wins on some of the best players in North America. This player is both smart and funny, and I'm just glad to have him here on the podcast. Caleb, how are you?
Man, I'm doing quite well. Thank you for having me here again, and thank you for that beautiful introduction. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
I'm so glad. You're just awesome, man. I miss you, honestly. You're pretty cool.
It's, I do miss Argentina, but had to make that return to the States. COVID hit us all pretty hard. Will not lie to you on that.
Yeah, well,
But hopefully everything's in like an upturn now.
of course. But I'm glad to hear that you're okay. Do you want to start the stream, the podcast?
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
we're good to go.
I wanted to start the podcast knowing about your past with Smash in this game. How long have you been playing Smash? Not competitive.
Man, the first time I touched Smash, I want to say it was Melee when I was around 6 or 7 years old, like 2006, 2007. Did not know what the heck I was playing. I just saw it as another game. It was a disc on my GameCube. It was cute, and I liked the red freaking disc design. It was cool. But going on from there, ended up getting Brawl during that like huge boom with the Wii, where everybody was waving around the motion controls. First time I really enjoyed Smash, right? Like that was my favorite game. So many cool things. Yeah, the Smash Ball, all my favorite characters from all the other games I played. I mean, I really did not see anything like it. I ended up breaking the game. I broke the disc when I was younger. We didn't buy another one, so I didn't touch Smash again until my friend Tommy had invited me over his house for his birthday party. And I ended up seeing like Smash 4, and I'm like, whoa, there's this character called Villager that can actually grow a tree and cut it down in the game. I don't know why, but that was just incredible to me. I was like, man, I have never seen a game where you could kill people by cutting trees. Like it's basically climate change inside of a game. It's absolutely insane. I could not believe that was a thing. So ended up buying the game because I had the Wii U, but I wasn't playing Smash. I didn't even know that was a thing anymore. And started playing it. Started playing it. Went to tournaments. I got destroyed over and over again because I did not know you couldn't grab the ledge. Like over and over again. That was my thing. I used to love to ledge camp. I was like, all right, we're gonna do a little Lloyd rocket and then stay on the ledge. And after that, I ended up playing a ton of Fort Glory for a while.
All right.
Played for yeah, done. And in For Glory, I saw this one character that I never touched before. Big yellow ball, little Pac-Mans for eyes, and the big smile, cute little tongue. It was Pac-Man, and he was doing some of the weirdest crap I've seen in any video game alive. Like, I did not know what was going on. I saw fruits, I saw knives, I saw trampoline. And from that moment, I knew I wanted to play that character. Spent a ton of time learning him, and that's kind of where I guess I got my competitive started, learning Pac-Man.
Yeah, of course. And how do you got into the competitive scene? Like, how do you find out about it?
Actually, also my friend told me he had mentioned that, oh, you're getting pretty good at Smash. At the time, I was still playing Villager because, cutting down trees and my stuff. He was like, hey, there's a little tournament here at Plum Hollow Bowling Alley. It was run by Amiibo King, really prominent figure in like the Michigan and in just in Smash scene in general.
Yeah.
And I went there. I was super nervous. I can't say that it was the best event I went to, but I knew from that point that I wanted to do well at those events.
Yeah.
So that was my interest in that scene. It was that ledge camping villager.
Of course. And how was your? Do you remember that you remember your first tournament, like the scenery, the overall opinion of the game, and the competitive game, and how was and who do you play against, and how well do you went to the tournament, and and everything, everything you can tell me.
Yeah, my very first tournament, I went with my friends Hamilton and Tony. You're going to hear about him a lot because he really did get me into this game more than anything else. Um, and we had all entered, if I'm not mistaken. The tournament setting itself, it was still at a bowling alley, but the Smash were crowded into this small back room. It was very, very cramped. Like if you know how we have COVID distancing guidelines now. This was like the opposite of that. Imagine everybody giving each other a hug 24/7, and that's the room that we were in. Um, but there were lots of setups. I could not find a setup for friendlies. I remember being like, wow, I really wish I could like practice with one of these people, but I was too nervous to really like go out there. I think I was only like 16 at the time.
Yeah.
Right. But getting into my first couple of matches, I went 0-2 on them. Yeah, definitely went 0-2. We did not win a single game.
Yeah.
First match was against a Fox, no, it was against a Meta Knight. And the Meta Knight literally like laddered me 3 times, and I did not know what the heck to do. I didn't even know Meta Knight could do that. I was very upset because I was like, wow, this character just cheats. I'm about to know a Meta Knight name. So I got completely bodied. Absolutely did not take the stock. It was terrible. Then fought a villager, and we did. Villager did all right, and I think I was doing pretty good, to be honest. Like, man, I was kind of getting 1 stock off them. You gotta remember the Smash 4, so they get 2 stocks total. So that makes it like half the game right there. But again, when I tried to start Ledge Camp, he just kept hitting me with bowling ball, and that was a wrap. So that kind of ended my first tournament. I stayed a bit after so I could get some friendlies in and got destroyed with those as well. But overall, it was a very interesting introduction into like competitive Smash. I wouldn't say it was super welcoming. I wouldn't say it was like super amazing or that felt great, but it was interesting enough for me to come back.
Yeah, awesome. Here we have Andy Madness saying hello, and also Shen, the brother of Medu, who was in the tournaments. You fought against Medu, I remember. You won with Cloud. Yes.
My Cloud with the upbeat is kind of nice. I'm sorry I did that, but you can press that upbeat button and win. I'm about that action. I'm sorry.
Hola Shen, hola Andy, ¿cómo están? Well, back to the podcast. Where does your tag C.Kaleb come from?
That tag actually is not directly related to Smash. It's related to my music. I entered a talent show back in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's second year of high school. Where I just started getting into rapping. A lot of people were hyping me out there, like, hey, you should enter this talent show. It's really cool. I was like, man, if I'm going to be a rapper, I need like a name for it. I was trying to think of names. I want to do something like Kendrick Lamar's K-Dot, right? Where it's this weird, I guess, mix of his name and something else. And for me, I'm like, what do I want people to see? And I'm like, I want people to see Kaleb. So that's where C.Kaleb comes from. It's like, I want you to see me. And that's how I kind of came up with that name.
Of course. Here in Argentina, and later when you went to the US again, during a couple of months, you've been playing under a tag known as LB. What's the story behind that tag?
Yo, LB is an interesting freaking tag. So I was in Argentina, as you stated, and I'm still relatively bad at Spanish. Mi español es muy pequeño, lo siento. However, I went to this freaking empanada shop. It was near my school, NYU Buenos Aires. And I went inside, I did some broken Spanish to order the 3 empanada lunch special. It was delicious. I do love those empanadas. However, he asked me nombre. And I'm over here like, nombre. Huh, that sounds like numbers. So I start listing off numbers first. I'm like, okay, tres empanadas. And he was like, no, nombre. And I'm like, whoa, nombre. And I started like studying because I got nervous. You just asked me nombre. I didn't know what the heck that meant. I didn't know what that meant. And so I was like, nombre, nombre, nombre. And then I was like, oh, his name. I said, Caleb. Right? But I said in this really weird, shaky voice, like, Caleb, or something like that. And he said, Elby? And I was like, yeah, Elby. Yes, that's me. That's me. I'm Elby. So I was going to get my empanadas that day. And when they called Elby, I certainly stood up there and got my empanadas. I was very, and they were still just as good. So yeah, that's where Elby.
That's an amazing tag. That's an amazing story. Here's Kev from, I think he's from Chile, saying he's your fan, and then there's Shen with that story of Cloud against Ridley saying, "Oh, I remember. Don't worry, it's all good." And then about your story with Elvi or Elvi, he says, "Yeah, you broke in Spanish. I wanted las empanadas."
Spanish came clutch. At the very least, I was able to get food, and I'm very happy that I did not starve in Argentina thanks to my Espanol.
Going back to the podcast, why, from all the characters in the game, do you still play with Pac-Man?
Why still Pac-Man? Maybe there are so many reasons, right? Like, obviously, the character I've invested most time with, at this point, I've spent 2 years playing this character. Like, this character has a special place in my heart. It's the one I know the best, the one I know the most in terms of like matchups. I understand how to play most matchups with Pac-Man to a pretty high level. And honestly, there hasn't been any character until Steve that had sparked my interest like Pac-Man to make me want to drop him. I love Gunner, I truly do, but it does not give me that same vibe as Pac-Man, although I still play a lot of Gunner as well.
Of course. And what were your? I wanted to ask this question before this other question, but what were your overall opinions on the game when Ultimate was announced? I'm talking about angling side, looking at the Smash ball and the Smash logo, and the trailer E3. What was your experience overall?
Oh, dude, I was so done with Smash 4 by the time Ultimate came out. Game became very frustrating. I kept losing the same character. I'm like, wow, it's going to be Cloud or Bayonetta who beats me in this tournament. Amazing. I'm glad to lose to another Cloud or Bayonetta. So coming to Smash Ultimate, I was like, wow, imagine having a game with every Smash character ever. I was like, whoa, we got Isabelle in the game. We got item climbers in the game. We're going to be wobbling people. Like, oh my goodness. The amount of theory crafting I had in terms of like what I would be doing in this game was ridiculous. I was extremely hyped for Ultimate. I don't know anyone who wasn't, to be honest.
Yeah, and what was your experience going through Smash 4 from Ultimate, and how did you adapt it to a new game?
Smash 4 Ultimate was weird at first. I won't lie to you. Beginning with I guess honestly, Pac-Man felt completely different from Smash 4 to Ultimate for me. So originally, I was like, all right, so all these times now Pac-Man is a waste, so I'm about to drop this character. And went through a long period of like experimentation with different characters. I played some Wii Fit, I played some Link, I played a ton of Isabelle. I still love that character even though she's terrible. But eventually, I kind of found my footing when I started experimenting with the Mii's, because this is the first time that Mii's were legal in terms of like all their customs. And I kind of got a feel for the game using like Gunner, using Mii Sword Fighter. Then from there, I went back to Pac-Man a bit as well, and I kind of got a feel for him too. So it was definitely the spirit of adjustment, but I feel like I'm better overall for it. I got to try out so many new characters. I got a feel for the game, and once I got a feel for this game, it felt so much more natural to me
Yeah.
than Smash 4 ever did.
Yes.
So
That makes sense. And going back to your opinions and characters, how do you feel about Pac-Man in the current offline meta?
in the you said the current offline meta.
Current offline meta.
Offline, okay. I feel like Pac-Man generally is super versatile in this in like offline. I don't really feel like he has a matchup he straight up loses. He has difficult matchups. I think Rob is particularly difficult. I think that hmm, what was another character that's I suppose Sonic is relatively difficult offline as well because sometimes just keep that zone up is pretty hard.
Yeah.
Bayonetta is a problem for me, although I don't think that's generally a Pac-Man problem. But in general, I would say Pac-Man is firmly a high tier, borderline top tier. I don't think there's any question on that. Pac-Man is an extremely good character in this game. As long as you're able to master him, he really could be a solo main. You see people like T, you see people like Sin, you see people like Kiwi and Midi who are these insane Pac-Man players, and yeah, I think there's just so much you can do with him. You can camp, you can box. He does it all.
Of course. Then, and what about Mii Gunner? How do you started playing with that character and turning into this second main of yours?
Uh, said earlier was one of the first characters I really started experimenting with in Ultimate. I at first I loved Gunner because they had these shield break setups before the projectile patch, where literally bombs would do half of your shield. It was absolutely ridiculous. I was getting shield breaks all the time. Character was mad cheesy. Honestly, they need to nerf it. Although I still hate that they did. They need to nerf that. Um, and for a while, Gunner actually wasn't a secondary for me for real. I played with a bunch of different Gunner sets. I tried 3332, which is like grenades and missiles. I tried missiles and laser, which is also one of the worst Gunner sets. Don't do that. I tried this weird upbeat out of shield that's like 36, but it doesn't let you recover. It's not until I started playing with Stealth Burst, Charge Blast, Arm Rocket, Gunner that I kind of found this play style where I can keep people out, I can get these insanely early shots, and I can continually zoom around the screen while still like keeping pressure on the opponent. And once I found that, that's when Gunner became second main. That's where my Gunner really kind of popped off, you know. And I really finding a set that works for you and that I could really like identify with was what really got Gunner from like this weird pet project to a secondary.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what do you feel? What do you also feel about Mii Gunner in the current offline meta?
I think Mii Gunner is generally good as long as they are trying to rush at you. Personally, I think one of Gunner's biggest problems is that, well, A, they can't get out of disadvantage, but B, they can be outzoned depending on the step you're running. For example, my Charge Blast Self setup works against zoners as long as they are not constantly throwing projectiles. Like a young Link versus my Gunner is going to provide a lot of problems because there are a lot of zoners in this game in particular that can both box and zone. Those are the characters that provide the most struggle for Gunner. I can deal with like a Pikachu. I can deal with a freaking Snake, but freaking young Links and Sonics that don't have to really even engage with the zoning are extremely fast kind of destroy this character. So, yeah, the Gunner's good. I would say it's a solid mid tier, maybe borderline high tier, because I personally don't think there are more matchups that Gunner loses than that they win. But definitely has a very notable weakness in that it cannot get down. It struggles getting out of disadvantage. Getting hit sucks. It's garbage. You don't want to get touched by this character.
That makes sense. And what do you feel about the other Miis?
Other Miis, I think Surfire is good. I feel like he's just a knockoff Gunner at times, though. Lots of zoning, lots of throwing crap out. and some really good hitboxes, honestly. Forward air and up air kill, well, forward air doesn't kill, but forward air has a lot of range. Up air kills pretty early and has like throw combos into it, plus the neutral special. But I don't know. I just don't see enough of them represented to really have an opinion on them, at least in competitive play. And then Brawler, I feel like Brawler just gets stuffed out. It's the worst version of freaking Fox. I'm sorry to Brawler fans out there, but y'all should just pick up another character. Like, I don't know what the appeal of Brawler is. You like throwing chocolates? I guess it's freaking Mario with a better fireball. I don't get Brawler. I don't get why people play Brawler. It doesn't make sense to me, but go pop off if you want to.
It's brawler is like a mix. If you use the correct like setup, if it's like if you use the correct combination, it's like a mix between Fox, CSS, uh, Ryu, um, and the JoJo's character.
I'm joking with the character. Man, I feel like Brawler is for people who just haven't decided on an actual character. And I'm sorry to Brawler fans. I think Brawler is cool. I like these skins. I love the pig skin that just came out. That's amazing. I just saw that in my stream yesterday. But yeah, I feel like you got all these attributes of other characters, but they're all worse. You need to pick one character that actually has the move that you want, that's good, and play them. I'm sorry, not a big fan of Brawler. I'm not gonna lie.
Alright, cool. Makes sense though. And what other characters have you played in tournaments?
In bracket, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
I
Count them
have
up,
played
buddy.
Isabel, I played Cloud, I played Zelda, I played Ices, I played Wii Fit, I played freaking, well, obviously Pac-Man, Gunner, Mii Sword Fighter, Piranha Plants, Rosalina Luma, Dark Pits. Man, I want to say that's it. I'm going to cautiously say that's it. There probably are some other ones that I'm missing here, but those are like characters that I've like actually played in brackets or played for a significant amount of time.
Of course. So you play campy characters.
What? I disagree with that. Man, Dark Pit is completely not campy. All I have is one arrow. You can approach.
Sure, buddy. Sure, sure. And then after that, which characters would you like to see in Ultimate? It's a question from Shen as well.
Well, I got my number one, well, my number two pick already. Shout out to Minecraft Steve. Love that character. I'm so glad that he finally made it in. I wanted that character since 2019. You can ask my roommate Justin about that because I definitely mentioned that over and over again. Other than that, though, I would love to see Miss Pac-Man in Ultimate. Other than her,
The thing with
I suppose. Yeah, go ahead.
the thing with Miss Pac-Man is that it's not owned by Capcom, so it will be really difficult.
I know that Namco Bandai owns her, but Sakurai make a call, see what they can do. They got Pac-Man in the game, so Miss Pac-Man can come through too. Shoot. And then for a friend, there's some character from Monster Hunter that had this really cool design. I cannot remember the name, but
Of course.
I would like to see a Monster Hunter rep as well.
Here Shen asks, si alguien quiere hacer una pregunta, puede hacerla ahora en el diagrama. Si no es sobre Smash, la pueden hacer después, cuando llegue a la parte de las preguntas para hacer Smash. If you want to ask a question about related to Smash, you can ask him now. If you don't, then you can wait later, and we can ask to Caleb, not to C.Kaleb. But yeah, here Shen asks, what do you think about Earthworm Jim for DLC?
Earthworm Jim. I feel like I should know who that is. Is that from the NES games? Is that like an Earthbound character?
No.
Or is it a word?
Worm.
Earthworm.
Earthworm
Okay.
Jim. It's like
Well, I'm
a
assuming he's a worm, right? Like he's
space
a.
it like buff space it with a worm as a head and a gun, like a laser gun.
That's like his laser gun, and so I can zone people. That's good enough
Yeah,
for me, honestly. That's my barrier. As long as your new character has some type of
and
projectile
has
that I can use,
and his head is like a whip, like Simon and
good.
Belmont.
You're pro.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I honestly, at this point, I've gotten my number one. So I don't have any characters I really wouldn't like to see in Smash. To be honest, I will say one thing. I think I would like to see a Fortnite character in Smash. I would love to see a Fortnite character. Some more building would be cool. But
Okay.
Earthworm Jim, I'll give that to you. If I knew the character better, I'd probably have a better answer for you. But I think that from the description I heard, I think Earthworm Jim would be a cool addition.
Cool. Then Shen asks, have you ever played Super Smash Flash 2?
I have played Super Smash Flash, the original, but I don't think I played two. It's been so long. I think that was it had to be like when Newgrounds was still popular. If you know that
Yeah,
website.
I know
Um,
Newgrounds.
Right, man. I loved playing little Flash games online. I definitely did stumble across Super Smash Flash. I thought it was like weird, but at the same time, I was like, oh wow, I can play as Goku. That's high. Man, I was a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, so low key, if I get Goku in this game too, oh, I know it's not gonna happen, but I do want it. I have played Super Smash Flash, but never two, never two.
Right. Then 54R is like, yo, Caleb, he's so hyped about you being in here. Then Shen asks, will you main Ridley?
Die. I'm sorry. I threw up a bit. I threw up a bit in my mouth. I can't believe somebody asked me that. Next question.
Oh, next question. So, Shen, someone doesn't like Ridley.
No, man. To answer your question, that will never happen. Like, never.
Oh,
Like, I'm
shit.
sorry to tell you. I won't play really in bracket. I'm not going to touch it. Really, just,
Oh,
no.
Shen is pissed.
No, that's it.
He says
It's
like,
funny. The
he
joke.
says, wait, that's it. I'm training you. I'm training just to destroy you. Mark my words. Oh shit. Damn.
Hey, I'm here for it. Shoot, get that really up in shape. I'd love to see it really deep.
Damn, Caleb. Then he also asked before, what's your opinion on the band Toto and their songs? Shit, again, shit? Really? We're gonna go through this?
And Toto, and then, well, I really like Toto from Africa. Like, I do like that song. That's also the only song I know from the band. So, let me see. Are there any other songs that band has? Did they make other songs?
I get, yeah, they make average songs as well, but
I didn't know they had other songs. I knew they had Africa, and that was good enough for me. So, I listen to Africa, then I pretend that they don't exist. But, Africa.
Here he says like, listen to Hold the Line, and then Shen says,
Okay.
piss off, Tacho.
All right. I'll check out Hold the Line, and then I will get back to you.
All right, cool.
Hold the Line by Toto.
Turn off the lights.
I'm looking for you. My man's turning up the lights. Got the antique jars in the background. That's crazy.
Good. Ready for another question?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Then Shen is also asking to Caleb, have you ever tried Mirinda?
Have I ever tried who?
No, like the orange flavor, dude, you know that there's Fanta, for example.
Yes. Okay.
In Argentina, there's like this brand called Mirinda that is like is
Um,
similar that is owned by Pepsi, and
Man,
they
I don't think
have
I've tried it. I don't think I tried. I tried some orange flavored drink, but I didn't think it started with an M. I don't know what it was, but it was good. I like orange flavored drinks in general,
and he
especially if they're orange.
also and Mirinda has an apple flavor.
It's a natural flavor.
Apple flavor, yes, apple flavor. Apple flavored Mirinda. It's pretty
Apple
good.
flavored. Definitely have. I'll try it next time I'm there. But you know, the words at Apple Cider Mill, shoot, we got some good apple cider. I've tried that. That's what I'm good. Love me some apple cider.
Then he also asks, "Do you know the anime Ashita no Jo no Shoe? You should watch it. Don't listen to Tacho. It's really good."
Well, can I get the English name? Because like, I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't. I heard the name and I'm like, oh, yeah. You
Wait,
know what? What's the translation?
don't tell me that you watch like English dub anime.
You know, it depends on the anime, right? Like,
Nah,
Death Note in
boy.
English is a banger. I don't care
Boy.
what anybody says.
Yo,
Death Note
come
in English is
on,
the best thing.
man. Come on, man.
Bro, SAO in English is better than SAO in Japanese. I'm sorry to tell you.
Damn.
Full Metal Alchemist, English. Stop
No.
playing yourself.
No.
So, no, shoot, only now there are some shows that are better in Japanese. I can't think of any right now, but there I'm sure there are. I'm sure they exist. But like Durarara, English. You know, Dragon Ball Z, English.
No,
Naruto,
fuck you.
English.
No. Hold on, man.
You got
Dragon
to
Ball
go.
English? Are you kidding me? That sucks. That sucks ass.
Bro, how are you supposed to see Hinata at this sweet, innocent girl when her voice sounds like no. It needs to
You listen to
be
it in
this whisper.
Spanish. In like Latin American Spanish, not in Spanish, like not in like Spain Spanish. Spain Spanish is worse than English. But boy,
To be fair, I've never watched them in Spanish, so I can't say anything about the Spanish voice actors. They could be fire. I don't know. But between Japanese and English, 9 times out of 10, I'm watching an anime in English first. Then if it sounds terrible, I'll try Japanese. And after that, I'll throw the anime in the trash.
the problem with English dubbed in Dragon Ball, for example, is that it's inconsistent, and sometimes it doesn't actually says what they say in the Japanese one. And another thing is that the openings change, like some of the like even the lyrics or even the whole song they put another one. For example, in Dragon Ball GT, there was an amazing song.
Welcome to the Grand Tour in Dragon Ball G. Are you kidding? That's so anger. That's my favorite.
Oh, that
Oh.
song sucks compared to the original song.
That song is amazing and you're tripping. I'm sorry.
No, the song in the original one is really good. Yeah, Tacho's Nightmare. I know, it's just shit. It's like listening to Hakuna Matata from The Lion King. It just sucks.
Hakuna Matata. Oh, okay, I understand. You just don't like music. You should have said that. You should have said you don't like music. Simple.
Oh, I don't like music, you said? Oh,
And something about Hakuna Matata. So it's like, that's not, it means no worries. Like, come on.
Bitch, are you serious?
I am shook. I am surprised. I am flabbergasted and shocked. Shoot. No bueno. No.
Let's go back to the podcast before I keep like.
I just. Man.
How do you usually practice for a tournament?
For tournaments, my typical practice routine, as something from Eyes All Smash, it's consists of like just pressing basic inputs over and over again. So, for example, I will short hop forward air across the stage and then do it back. Then I will like short hop there across stage and then do it backwards as well. Same with up airs, down airs until we literally get through all the aerials. Then I will go ahead and I practice setups with Pac-Man so I can continue to do them consistently, like throwing the bell over hydrant, letting the water push it, or like practicing apple gun setups, like short hop up there and then throw the apple backwards so the water pushes it forward. Um, After I practice setups, I try to practice zero deaths that I know are possible. Pac-Man forward air is pretty easy to do. Dash attack forward air to down air. There are a lot of like real cheeky setups that Pac-Man would do. And then after I'm really done with those three things, I will generally try to warm up with some friendlies.
Yeah.
Then after that, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Here, he says, Andy says, that's the previous subject. She's like, that's why Tacho is always worrying about anything. And then about the anime, Shen is like, by the way, Ashita no Joe in English is called Rocky Joe.
The Rocky Joe. Okay, thank you for that. Because now I can actually like search the Rocky Joe. That in my
Search
Google
it in English dub. Ugh.
The Rocky, the Rocky Joe.
Back to the podcast. What is usually your mentality when you are in a tournament setting?
So I like winning very much to the degree where if I'm not winning, I'm generally pretty upset. But in terms of tournaments, my main thing is like I know my game plan coming in is that I am not going to be forced to make any decision. I think that is what separates me from other players. People will feel like, oh, you're behind, you have to approach. No, I'm content with sitting here and waiting until I see an opportunity to actually get the damage or get this huge punish that I know can turn the game back around. For me, that mentality is what's carried me to a lot of wins. People think like, oh, why is he not coming forward? Now I have to come forward. It's very strange to me that people feel like they have to always be pressing that forward button. Other than that, I try to stay level-headed, whether that be like a big habit of mine that I have is actually like talking through what I'm going to do while I'm playing the game. A lot of people hasn't pointed that out. Like, wow, I knew exactly what you were going to do because you were saying it, but they still don't counter it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that allows me to kind of like slow down time a bit, gives me more agency in stopping habits that I know are going to be killed or adjusting mid set or mid game. So that's pretty helpful for me. Then, other than that, have some music on, try to keep me calm, take some deep breaths in between shots if I know I'm not doing the greatest, and just always have this mentality that I know my character can come back. Because literally, he can come back from anything. Like, I've done reverse three shots countless times to the point where it's just normal. So, you gotta make sure you stay level headed and just keep a little bit of composure, keep the game plan in check, keep the game plan in mind.
Yeah, cool. Is there a player that you like to watch? Could be either a Pac or Gunner main or not.
There are quite a few players I enjoy watching. I would say that my favorite players to watch at the moment would be Mabel, SB, which is really good Dr. Mario. Very exciting player, gets these insane punishes. Very exciting gameplay in general. But other than that, I love watching T. I think he has some of the most innovative setups I've ever seen with Pac-Man, and the way he plays it, which is very aggressive Pac-Man. It's not really my playstyle. It's very fun to watch, and I kind of mimicked parts of his gameplay when I am in advanced state, so I'm very grateful to him. Love watching MK Leo. Obviously, really best Smash player probably of all time. So insane to see what he does. Then I would say like those four are generally who I'm watching at the moment. It's been a while since I've really like sat down and like watched other players. obviously, I enjoy watching like other people in the brackets that I'm in as well. Though I can think of Capese. I think of man. What the heck was the Ridley player's name? I'm trying to think. He was very fun to watch. I just cannot
Ridley.
remember the name of the full name.
What was the main?
The main is Ridley.
Paco.
Paco, yes. Although I still like Ridley, I gotta admit his Ridley is super fun and super interesting to watch. And then I actually like watching Diaz as well. His Greninja is pretty nice to see. So yeah, between the players, I would say I like watching people in my bracket, and I like watching top level players as well.
Yeah, makes sense. Now two things. Nowadays, Yasman is playing with Wolf, because of online, not because of not because he doesn't like Greninja. It's because of online. Here Shen is Paco is the best. All hail Paco. And two things that I wanted to say that these are Tacho opinions. Sorry guys, but I personally, it's not that I don't enjoy it. It's that it's just like another kind of combo. Okay, it's not that I don't like watching Pac-Man, but it just kind of overhyped to a point. Like
Shoot, no, I feel pretty similarly most of the time, but I always thought that was because I played Pac-Man. So instead of I do,
I
or since I see Pac-Man do, this feels like normal.
I mean, I love playing against Pac-Man, and I love when people do combos against me against Pac-Man because I like, oh shit, this guy's amazing. This guy thinks when he plays, and but watching Pac-Man doing combos, it gets to a point where it's like I cannot get surprised anymore. Like he does like this like throwing the bell and going through the stage, and I'm like, cool, I guess. I don't get surprised. I get really surprised with it combos. Those are dope. But I don't know. What?
Okay.
What?
Not, not,
No,
no,
say
no.
something. No, say something.
I'm just saying, I don't know. Is it really hype to see Leaf Fit do Nair up smash and kill people at 70? Is that hype? I don't get that personally.
No,
I think Leaf Fit's combos are basic. I think the ball angles are predetermined and they get lucky when they hit them. They don't earn anything. How do you? And I mean, I could get what you're saying about Pac-Man, right? I don't understand what the hype is about Wii Fit personally. I think Wii Fit is super lame, but it's okay. That's fine. Everybody got their.
And the other thing is that I personally do not get hyped watching Leo. It's just like I get bored. It's in Smash 4 even. Like I was like, oh, Leo's on stream. I'll watch later and see the results.
God, I really just admire the way that he approached the game. I feel like I have a similar game.
Like the guy is awesome in the game, and he's like very talented and has a really great mentality. But watching Leo for me is just not fun. Simple as that.
Not every player could be for every person.
I respect the player as both as a player, as a competitor, as a person, but I just don't enjoy watching Leo. It's simple as that. As people don't enjoy watching Sonics or people don't enjoy watching Twig, I just don't enjoy watching Leo. It's just simple as that.
Fair enough. That's my discussion there.
Here, Shenny's like, damn, Tacho, why you always like that? I just have shitty opinions and
It's like, okay.
I just have shitty opinions. I'm gonna admit that. I have shitty opinions. It is what it is. I was known in high school as this skeptic guy who always was in the country against anyone. It was me against the world. But other than that, Back to the podcast. Is there a set that you remember playing to this day? And if there is, what was your mentality during that set?
See, I'm trying not to go with the controversial side because the person I played against isn't necessarily like shoot, they're not really part of the NY scene anymore. So I'm trying to think to another set.
You can say the main and your mentality overall over that set, but you can call it as redacted.
You know what? No, I think I have a better set to go with. I'm gonna go with the set against my friend Reki. He plays Pokemon Trainer. I literally have only beaten him once in a set ever, and that was the first set of grand finals at NYU. Um, it was actually the first time I've ever been to grand finals at NYU, so it was very exciting for me. I believe he got knocked into losers early, or I beat him in winners, one or the other. But in any case, during the set, right, I finally figured out a way to deal with the Pokemon trainer. It was the first time I really had this like, oh, aha moment. In that, like, wow, you know what? I can just spam key to counteract Ivysaur's Rage Leaf, or I can literally bear him and punish him every time he does one of these super light projectiles that I just did not have an answer for. And I was just so excited over this prospect that when he switched characters, I fell completely apart. I've never had a set that was so polarizing for me. That like I figured out a matchup, and then that gameplay completely got shattered by this one character switch. It made me realize how powerful character switches are, and just how much a game can change just by like one character. But in terms of like my mentality, going in super confident. By the time we hit like set two of grand finals, I was completely shattered because I didn't know what the heck was going on. So yeah, it was very interesting to say the least.
That makes sense. Here's Shen asked, first, Shen said, Tacho Pupu questions. Tacho Pupu opinions then. No, I'm sorry. Tacho Pupu opinions. Shut up. And then Shen's asked, what's your favorite food?
Dude, why do everybody asks me this question? I always have different answers. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and say steak with broccoli. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say steak in general because steak can go with anything, right? There's some great steak or carne. Is that carne asada? I think that's still considered steak. But yes, steak in or out. It's muy delicioso. I love me some steak. If you got steak, just go ahead and send it over to me. I appreciate it.
Then he asked, cats or dogs?
Dogs. Dogs. Why would you get a cat with claws when I can get a dog that gives me love?
What if
Like,
you're allergic?
why would I get? I'd rather be allergic with a dog than have a cat. Period.
Well, I'm a cat person, and I'm also definitely allergic to dogs.
They made me shouldn't have a cat.
What?
I'm I'm anti-cat. I'm sorry. Cats are evil. Cats, all they do is like they'll do stuff without your consent and permission. They'll tear up the couches. They'll jump on top of you. Dogs, they just want love and attention. Okay. Cats don't even love you. They just here for the food. Sorry, bro. Cats are evil.
I mean, I think it will just depends on the dog and the cat, and in the interaction you have with the two. Like my girlfriend's cat and one of her friends' cat is just like a dog, but in a cat's body. It's basically that.
Why?
I saw them eat the meat like a dog and playing with the bone, for example. It will just depends on the interactions you have with the cat or the dog. I know my fair share of dogs that act like cats that are only in your house because of food. it will just depends on the interactions and it will depends on the dog um, like actions and everything. It will just depends on a lot of things. It doesn't really depends on how evil or how like here my girlfriend Andy says my cat is a dog. It is basically a dog. I know it. It's like it is basically a dog. I
Well, if I get a cat, it's gonna be a lion or a tiger. That's the only cat I would think of.
You know, you send
I
in
get
certain
you.
states, like there's certain like felines that can be adopted and not necessarily cats. Like I follow on Instagram a married couple that have like two bobcats
Okay.
and it's legal I think in North Carolina.
I guess.
Uh,
Wow. Yeah. That's interesting. I think there's a team called the Bobcats. I just can't remember exactly where. I think that is North Carolina though. Shoot.
but yeah, it's pretty cool. Here
I'm
both
really.
here both Shin and Andy says like cats are better and cats are the best over dogs.
To be fair, you're talking to a person who's not an animal person. I do not own, and nor have I ever had any animal companions.
Okay,
So, like, I've had a fish. I like fish. They're cool. They just sit there and they swim around. And I get to watch them. That's all I really need.
moving on and going through the podcast again before I flip the fuck out. Who's your bracket demon?
Bracket Demon, Bracket Demon right now is Evan Gabriel. I've run into him like 5 times, and I've not been able to take one game off him. And it's always in winners too. Like he's the person who continually sends me losers. He's like, can't get the freaking winner semis. It's very frustrating to fight that man. I'm not gonna lie to you. So that's what I say my current bracket demon is. In the past, it's been Pareki, which is the Pokemon trainer I was talking about earlier,
Yeah,
and I believe it's Simon, which is no Chillager.
yeah.
So yeah, those would be the recommenders generally.
All right. What's your overall opinion on online tournaments?
Online tournaments? Honestly, I don't mind online as much as most people do. I don't think they're better than offline, obviously, but I think that online tournaments, as an alternative, aren't terrible. I've had some, maybe it's because I had a little bit of success in online tournaments. I'm not gonna lie to you, doing well in like these 2,000 plus people bracket and then being like top 30, top 12 feels pretty nice. And it gives you an opportunity to go to things like majors that I honestly would not have access to otherwise. So yeah, I like online tournaments. I'm a fan.
Cool. And do you feel that your two mains improve or they get worsened by this online meta?
People are going to disagree. I think Pac-Man is the same on online. I think Mii Gunner's worse online. I feel like I can't move nearly as smoothly online with Gunner than I can in person. My movement feels absolutely restricted. It's harder to land stealth burst because if there's any type of delay, it goes off before I freaking press it to. It's nah. I think Gunner's worse. I think Pac-Man's the same.
Alright, cool. And where do you feel they are in this meta in comparison to offline of the online of the offline one? God damn it.
I think Mii Gunner is a solid mid tier. Online is this land of, oh, I have you in advantage state, so I'm just going to continue to hit buttons. That's literally the online meta. So, as someone who struggles in disadvantage, a la Gunner, then you're kind of screwed half the time if you get hit once, which is absolute garbage. Pac-Man is okay because he has these tools, got his advantage. He has the Nair out of shield, has Hydra to stop him from just needlessly approaching. That can't be instantly hit back like a bomb can. And yeah, so Pac-Man really retains his position. I still think he's a pretty solid high to borderline top tier. he still beats most characters online. He can outcamp characters he needs to, which is also a pretty valid strategy online, especially. Doesn't have too many issues.
Yeah, that makes sense. And in the beginning of the year, you traveled to Argentina, and you also participated in a few tournaments, and even won 4 weeklies in a row. By the way, how was your experience with the Argentinian competitive scene?
I enjoyed the Argentinian competitive scene a lot more than I thought I would initially, honestly. I really, my issue with originally joining Smash was that I never felt like a part of the scene until I got here to NYU, and even then it took me a while before I started going to like New York City brackets and then feeling comfortable being in those. But coming to Argentina, it just felt natural right away. People were welcoming. A lot more so than I thought, especially as someone who can't speak Spanish extremely well. Shoot, my Google Translate really came in handy as well. Will not lie to you, that Google Translate quite a bit. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed my time. I can say that it was very fun. I got to see esports centers. People invited me out to places. It was beautiful. I could not ask for it.
Which Argentinian player do you enjoy the most playing against?
Oh, see, man, this is tough. 'Cause, like, it would be between Zanti or is it Zant? Is Zant? Zanti or Zant?
Santi. Santi.
Zanti, okay, I have to go first. It would be between Zanti and Paco. I would give the edge to Paco because, well, like I said, I like winning, and instead of winning, I did that a lot more against Paco than I did against Zanti. Thank God for Paco for also eliminating Zanti from brackets before. That's my stuff right there. Capese and Paco, every time y'all eliminate Zanti, I am just cheering in the background. You don't know. But Zanti gave me the most competitive challenge by far. So I have to give respect to my dude as well.
Right. Interesting. Here, Shen asks, have you ever played arcades?
Have I ever? Yes. My first arcade that I went to, I don't remember the name of the arcade, but I remember the game I played. I played MVC. I don't know if it's MVC 2 or MVC 1. I don't know if there is a 1. But I remember seeing like there was Incredible Hulk on there. There was like Wolverine, a bunch of like Marvel characters who absolutely loved it. I low key to just spend my money to like put coins in the arcade machine and then watch people beat up the Hulk.
Yeah.
Even though I love the character, I wouldn't even play the game. I just like put coins in and then sit here and watch the computer beat me up. It was the weirdest thing ever. I enjoyed it immensely. It was nice stuff. I played Tekken in arcades. I went to Zap Zones and stuff where there were just a bunch of random games as well that aren't necessarily fighting games, but yeah, I grew up on like this arcade culture to a degree.
Cool. Here Shen asks, Bubble for Smash.
Double bubble like the gum?
Like bubble for Smash.
Is that like bubble buddy? What is bubble bubble?
Like bubble, like bubbles, and
Yes.
instead of the second of bubble, like with an O instead of a U, like bubble for Smash. You ever play that game? Like bubble.
Bubble bubble?
It's NES
No.
arcade from I think it is. I don't remember if it was SNK or if it was Capcom, honestly. But it is one of Shen's favorite characters, and yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I already, it's already strange. Like people ask me, "Oh, you're fighting against Peach in Smash." I don't want to fight against Bubble in Smash. In fact, I'm gonna still SpongeBob quote and say, "Pop the bubble," because I don't want to see that in Smash. I'm sorry to tell you.
Here, Shen says that it is a Taito rep.
It's a title.
Taito, the company, Taito.
Well, how are we gonna have a company in Smash? What?
You see that there's like Microsoft and Atlas, and then there's Capcom, and
Yes.
there's the different companies that put characters in Smash. Like
Yes.
other companies
Yes.
that didn't have any representation, like Sony and etc. There's one that Taito, there's one called Taito, and the best rap they have is a character called Bubble Bubble.
Well, then maybe they don't deserve a rapid smash.
Wait, look it up, dude. Like the character.
I don't, but I don't like the name. The name is trash. I don't care if the character is cool. The name is so garbage. I actually would not want him to smash. Kind
Just
of,
because of the
you know,
name,
bubble
dude. Come
bobble.
on.
I will look him up, but like, Lord, bubble bobble, Nest gameplay. No. You want this goofy looking freaking Yoshi offset character? No. The answer is no. I would. Don't put this in my game. Don't put this in my game. I am anti-bubble game. That is trash.
When did you start streaming on Twitch, and how's your experience overall?
Started streaming on Twitch in 2018 before I started college. And you know what? Streaming on Twitch is amazing. I enjoy it. It's very easy to get burnt out though. I streamed 2018 for a solid month before I stopped streaming because I started school and I really didn't know how to set it up while being in class.
Of course.
So did not have the time to really do that. Then I started again in 2019 because I just wanted to see what it felt like, but I did not do that regularly at all. It's not actually until 2020 where I really said, okay, you know what, we have time, let's go ahead and really start streaming. And I did that pretty much daily for the next 3 or 4 months. And I saw some decent growth. We got a decent little subscriber base. It was cool. It was amazing. It was a beautiful community. Then I took a 2 month break, and I'm just not coming back. So cannot tell you what that's like yet. But man, coming back is weird, but it's like liberating at the same time. It's nice being back.
Right. Cool. I'm glad that you're happy. We've been talking to C.Kaleb a lot, even with these questions that we're asked to Caleb, not with C.Kaleb. But I've been asking questions to C.Kaleb a lot, and now I want to talk to Caleb or Caleb Christian, I don't know, and for a little bit at least. Tell us, what do you like besides playing video games?
What do I like besides gaming? I love making music. In fact, before I decided to come back to streaming, I ended up releasing a new EP. So if you want to check that out, you guys can do C.Kaleb on Spotify and you can listen to that. But yeah, I do love making music. I've loved rapping since 2016 when I did those talent shows. Kind of really hyped me up, and maybe that's a beautiful outlet for expression. I love writing. My internship that I'm doing now is with this finance app called Burrow, where I help write articles for the company, with TV costumes about finance and just learning about how to control your money just a bit better. So that's also really cool. And other than that, I enjoy walking alone at night, usually like midnight. You know, something about the danger of being on the street alone. I can get mugged at any time. What's gonna happen? What's around every corner? Oh, somebody's getting, you know, that's crazy. That's insane to me. It's just very exciting to me, at the very least. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, I would say like between that though, making videos is also fun, but that's relatively difficult for me. I'm not great at video editing. Yeah, yeah, and then meeting new people, going out to travel, going out for food, going out to movies. Love me some movies, dude. I'm a huge Marvel fan, huge DC fan. Absolutely miss that. I think movie going for me is a lot better than like sitting at home watching Netflix, but which we do. I do also do that as well.
Yeah. Then here Shen says you do that one here and you'll get robbed at best. The one from going to the dark at night, like.
That is not true. I walked back at 2 a.m. by myself through the streets, and I was perfectly fine.
In Buenos
But,
Aires? In Buenos
or
Aires?
maybe you're saying, I don't know.
You did that in Buenos Aires?
Yes, indeed.
Where?
It was a Recoleta. It would have been around where I stayed. I'm trying to remember exactly where that is. I know Recoleta is relatively safe. It's not. So there were a few people came up to me, but that's about it. Little passerby.
Alright.
My fault for being out after going to bars, but you do what you can at home, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. Then another question. You said as if well you said it already. Oh yeah, Shen then says go to Visha 31. Like he's like oh shit. I dare you. It's like a hood.
I figured as much. I'm sure that might be a little different. Might be a little different.
Yeah, I bet it is. Well, as far as I know, you're studying journalism in the NYU. Why did you study that career, and how long have you been studying said career?
I knew I liked writing, and I knew I did not want to be an English major because they do not make any money here, so I've been told. So I chose a writing career that would allow me to make a living that I would not be sad about, while also letting me explore a bit more. I know journalism is a pretty versatile degree, so if I want to, I can always do like freelance. I could try to take journalism positions across the world. I just wanted the freedom to, not really be locked down anywhere, and I think journalism gives me that.
Yeah. And so, how long have you been studying said career? I didn't hear you.
Oh no, my apologies, I didn't say. Been studying it for 2 years now. We only have 2 more years, and we should be good.
Okay, cool. And I think you told me that you study another career as well, right?
That's correct. Thanks to NYU, journalism is not its own. Well, it is its own major, but you have to do something else with it. So what I do is social and cultural analysis, which is essentially take into account all these different factors that make up societies or the culture around these societies. Then you try to form like hypotheses or theories about why they're like this or what you can do to change X thing about society. It's just this overall view of the world in large, trying to understand how it came to be that way and potentially what we can do to solve it. So, really abstract, to be honest, but it's very fun learning about lots of different cultures, lots of different forms of oppression. It really is enlightening.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, as far as I know, and you mentioned it before, but you also make some music with a list of Spotify and everything. What do you love the most about making music and making
Man,
music in general?
there there's so much freedom, right? I feel like whatever I want to talk about, and maybe it's because I'm still like a very small artist, right? I can talk about that through my music. If I'm thinking any thought at all, even if I stop thinking that later, I can immortalize what I'm thinking right then through my music, right? What I make, that I can make feelings in sound. And that to me is incredible. And that's why I love music.
Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, you sing and you rap and everything. Do you
Yeah.
play any instruments as well?
I used to play the drums, but I do not know. I wish I did.
Right, cool. How's your experience in Argentina aside from the competitive scene?
You know what? It was wonderful to be quite frank. I feel like I did not explore as much as I could have or should have, but I did meet quite a few people outside of Smash. Got to go to bars all the time. Did a lot of drinking. I'm not gonna lie to you because U.S. drinking age here is 21, so you kind of have to get that in while you can. But no, I really did enjoy seeing all the different museums, going to different places.
Yeah.
I actually had a friend that I met in Argentina who took me to quite a few museums and places as well. So it's nice having like a bit of a tour guide who's local. Yeah, I really could not wish for a better experience, to be honest.
Hmm. Wait, hold up. How old are you again?
I am 20.
You're 20, so you went to bars in Argentina, and the legal age here is technically 18.
Yes, indeed. I think I was 19 when I was in Argentina. I only
Oh,
turned 20 in May. So, we're 1 year above the legal age. Thank you very much. Shoes.
did they have fun in
I
that
did have fun.
aspect?
I had a lot of fun.
Cool. Here, Shanaz, have you tried dulce de leche?
Yes, I tried dulce de leche and this ice cream shop. I'm trying to remember the name of it at the moment. But oh my goodness. I will say the ice cream was OD. I never had ice cream that tastes that good in my life. I don't really even like ice cream, but
Really?
at one point I think I was going like back every couple of days just to go get some more ice cream. Yeah, I don't love ice cream. I really don't like sweets in general too much. So,
Right.
it hit hard.
Interesting. Um, Talking about a more serious question, it's been 3 quarters of a year with the pandemic. How do you feel about this new reality, and has COVID affected you in any way?
Has COVID affected me? Well, my roommate got COVID like 2 weeks ago, so I had to quarantine for 14 days. But if I'm being quite honest, the only thing that's affected is my ability to go outside for a while. Back when I first left Argentina, thanks to the pandemic, the whole U.S. was in quarantine mode, especially in Michigan. Gretchen Whitmer, our governor, really put on these very harsh restrictions on when you can go out, if that's going to be criminalized or like penalized or fined. So literally nobody's out on the streets. It was pretty intense. However, nowadays it's relatively tame. As long as you have your mask on and your social distancing, you're fine to do any activities. Sucks that a lot of places still closed. A lot of restaurants that I've gone to or that I wanted to go to are never going to be open again, especially here in New York. I think like half the city's restaurants have closed. But it's a mixed effect.
Yeah, it sucks. But um, well, here's a moment I've been waiting for. The lightning round questions of the podcast. I'm gonna do something that Boyra does in his podcast. Shout out to him. He has own podcast on YouTube. Is take some random questions from a web page, as well as a couple related to Smash and video games and everything. And well, are we ready?
Give me 1 second. Let me hit this light in my room because it's getting slightly dark.
All right, cool.
Ah. All right, it's a bit better. Now I can actually see.
All right.
Ready to go.
Are you ready? Are you ready then?
I'm ready to go.
Are you sure?
So what the heck? Yes, I'm sure.
All right, cool. What's your opinion on mint chocolate ice cream?
I don't know what that is.
Mint chocolate, like mint, like
Oh, mint chocolate. I've never had it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've never had it. I've never
uh,
even.
and mint
It's
chocolate,
green.
and the combination in general, like mint and chocolate.
Dude, I just don't like the color. Why would you eat green ice cream? It just looks wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sure it tastes fine. I had like mint chocolate. Chocolates, those are okay, but I'm not gonna eat an ice cream because it's green.
All right, cool.
Make it different. Make it white.
You told me in the past that Isabel is your waifu.
Yeah.
Why? From all these
Um,
beautiful women, you wanna fuck the dog?
Whoa. Okay, I think it's productive to call her a dog when she literally is a sentient being. Okay, it's not like your freaking poodle at home. No, she has a job. She is the secretary to the mayor. You need to stop put some respect on her name, please. Please do not refer to her as a freaking dog. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. You need to apologize to her. No,
Okay,
I'm
interesting.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's okay. He was joking. It was a joke.
It was a joke. It was a joke. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But is Isabel your waifu in Smash?
Isabel is my wife? Yes, I would say so.
Right. Interesting. I'm not gonna get. What's your opinion on energy drinks? And do you usually drink them during tournaments?
I don't usually drink energy drink during tournaments. However, the one time I did, I'm not going to lie, I think it actually did hit. I had energy drinks in the past where it does not hasn't done too much for me. I used to love Mountain Dew Kickstart as my energy drink of choice. However, I think it's just because I did not have enough. They definitely increased focus or something along the lines, give me some more energy than I thought I really need.
Yeah.
Yes, I think they're good. I like energy.
All right. Cool. Then what's your favorite video game?
Favorite video game? Ooh. I am going to go ahead and say Dungeon Defenders. It's a dungeon crawling esque game. It's an RPG, but it's a collaborative RPG. I played it with my younger brother, and I played it with my sister for a while too. It's one of the funnest games I think I've ever played. Other than that, I put Captain Crash in there too.
All right.
Another kind of another that same vein.
Yeah. Okay. Then Marvel or DC?
Marvel. I love DC TV shows, but Marvel's movies are just so much better than DC's that to me that outweighs everything. I've always kind of had this tier list in terms of like the entertainment I watch. It's movies, it's TV, and then it's I guess YouTube. And movies are always up here, so Marvel dominates that. Shout out to Disney.
Then ¿todavía sabes hablar español?
Ah, mi español es muy pequeño, pero yo sabo español. No, yo sabo
Mm,
español.
¿Tú sabes
Ah,
español?
sí, yo sabo español. Sabo es el yo forma, ¿no? ¿Sabe?
I think you should. And I don't know if there's open English in the U.S., but I hope there is some open Spanish.
Yo estudio español en la clase.
Alright. Okay, cool. Then Shen asks, have you ever went to a free buffet? I don't know if there's free buffets in like a buffet.
No. Yeah, a free
Um,
buffet is it like unlimited buffet?
what
Like unlimited, as in like you can just keep going back for more and more.
exactly?
See, there's this place called Ponderosa that me and my family used to go to all the time. Literally, they had all this food and they would keep refilling it. And oh my goodness, it was amazing. The only problem is that they went out of business, but still love that place.
Yeah.
Then we had an old country buffet as well. So there were quite a few buffets if you wanted to go to those.
Yeah. Have you ever won one in Argentina?
No, I didn't even know those were a thing.
No, yeah. There's a couple one. There's Clay. There's Los Maizales. There's Porteño. There's a couple of one. There's a really couple one that are really good. I just went to Porteño once a couple of times, but yeah. And then Shen that loves Clay and Los Maizales apparently. and want to ask you that. Then, question: how long does it take to you to take a shower?
Like 2 hours.
2 hours for a shower. No joke.
Yeah, I'm very serious.
Why?
Why is this surprising?
What? Like, first of all, that's way too much water. And second of all, here's 54 hour that says, "What do you mean 2 hours, dude?" And you're wasting a shit ton of water. And
Okay, I am not wasting this water. I hate people who tell me I'm wasting the water. I am using the water to decompress and reassess. Okay, you gotta remember those two words: decompress and reassess. I'm using the water to get my mind right. I'm using the water to relax. I'm using the water to clean, to cleanse, to pull out the energy from my pores. There's a lot I'm using that water for. I'm not wasting any water. Thank you very much. And so you know what I'm doing in that shower. I am washing, I am relaxing, I am thinking. And thinking and relaxing take a long time. Washing takes about the amount of time as well. But you gotta vary the water temperature sometimes. You gotta have hot water, cold water, medium water. You gotta know when to change the handle so it's not too hot and not too cold. Gotta adjust your body temperature a few times. There's a lot of work that goes into a shower. I feel like you know what? Try taking a shower for an hour, and then you can work your way up. All right, just
here's
start working your way up.
the translation to what Shen said here will be like, "Caleb, stop fucking around, stop wasting water."
Bro, I pay for this water just like everybody else. Yo pago un agua. No,
I
el
think the
agua.
thing, creo que el tema de lo que está diciendo, que me explicó Caleb antes, es que él se baña en la universidad, así que no tiene que pagar las cuentas de agua, entonces mucho no le interesa. Así que por eso mucho no termina no, o sea, le importa el tema de gastar agua, pero no es su problema pagar las cuentas del agua. I said that here
Exactly.
that
So,
I said that you take showers in the NYU, so you don't have to pay for the water bills.
I was actually able to understand a lot of that. I'm very happy that was. Because
Oh.
I already guessed what you were saying, but I was like, okay, you don't actually recognize these words. Okay, cool. I was very excited to see that.
I think, but here 54 hours says it's not the problem about the money, it's the problem that you're wasting a resource.
Wasting the water's being recycled. So am I really wasting that resource? I don't know.
Right.
It's not like I'm drinking the water excessively. And then that water will be used for other purposes after it's treated. So am I really wasting that resource? That's a question.
Perdón, Jen, una traducción que yo quise hacer sobre no hinchar las bolas. En Estados Unidos esa traducción no terminaría de entenderse muy bien. Yo lo intenté usar un par de veces y no se entendía muy bien. Así que preferí decir stop fucking around instead of stop growing balls, because growing balls means another thing.
Oh, what? Growing? What?
Yeah, like hinchar means like growing yeah, stop screwing around. Yeah, that. But I said stop growing ball. Yeah, stop growing ball. That doesn't make sense. Stop screwing around. But I just said the stop fucking around because it sounded more cool. And I think screwing around it will be kind of like eh. So stop fucking around sounds better. But yeah, like the thing is that there's people that don't have that resource and that advantage to use a lot of water.
Almost definitely.
So
But
it doesn't like offend me, but my girlfriend, for example, doesn't have hot water. She has to take baths every time with cold water. for example, and there's things like that, and it's kind of like.
And while I understand that, right, my actions here in the U.S. or even places like Argentina, where that resource is unlimited, I literally cannot give you hot water, right? In that sense, so I guess I'm a little bit confused on how. I understand why that might be considered wasteful, and I can understand like the rationale or the feeling behind that. At the same time, it's not as if my actions are directly affecting an next person's use of water. If that makes sense.
All right, cool. And then last question: who would you like to nominate so he or she could come to the podcast?
One more time.
Who would you like to nominate so he or she could come to the podcast? Like another
What I'd like
special.
to know. Let's see, another Smash player. Huh. Man, low key, I think you should invite Mabel SSB. I think he would be a cool player to have on your podcast.
Yeah, send me later the tag on Discord and I'll look it up. I'll see what I can do.
Bet.
Cool. Here's where the podcast is coming to an end. Thank you so much to C.Kaleb. You can follow me. You can follow him under the ad on Twitter at C.Kaleb Today and on Twitch or YouTube typing C.Kaleb Today, but without the mashukula C. And then if you want to look at sets related to the Argentinian Smash community, there's sets of C.Kaleb and other players on the YouTube channel AFK. And if you want to look at other streamers, Argentinian Smash streamers on Twitch, there's Takumi SSBU, Cyrano Rock, More, TVO, Guns IC, Lautica PS95, Capu Smash, and Nano 020, and of course the AFK SSB channel. And don't forget to follow me on Twitch so you cannot miss the chance of watching another podcast. And to subscribe to my Twitch channel, it will make me really happy if you do. And thank you so much to everyone who watched the podcast, from Kev, 54R, Shen, and Andy. And of course, thank you so much to Kaleb. You being an amazing guest. Even though we butt heads a lot during the podcast. You're a pretty cool dude, and I'm happy you were here. And well, thank you so much to everyone. And with this, we say goodbye. Live long and prosper. Bye.